Guys, welcome back to our channel. Peter and I are currently traveling. We're in Europe, we're in Berlin at the moment, and we are staying in this Airbnb. Don't mind the mess that you will see somewhat soon. And we were just doing a shoot, and this place is pretty small and it's long and skinny, but we've got all these windows, so we get this really nice light that comes through. So we wanted to just give you a bit of a walkthrough where we were shooting, show you some of the photos, and we will go back to then shooting in our favorite light that we've found.
So I'm just going to walk you through this place. Beck and I spent almost like an hour and a half doing a shoot. We were going to do a whole shoot in here, but we've run out of light. So we've still got the pictures we did, so I wanted to sort of run you through the spots we were shooting. So one of the spots, we did try shooting with Beck on the end of the bed at the end, and it just looked too predictable. So it didn't suit my look at all. We've got a grand piano here. It's just going to be a cliche shot. It just looks like you know that's going to happen. Definitely not putting on top of the piano, because if we scratch it, we have to pay for it. So I did decide I really liked this bit of floor here. I really like the sort of texture of the floor and the carpet. The grand piano's there, the chair. There's a little bit of tunneling down there, and we've got this beautiful natural window light was coming through here. We did have full sun, but not coming through the windows. It never came from this direction, but it bounced off all the buildings and gave us a really strong light through here. So we had a quick look in here, lots of light, but it's just very bland. It didn't feel anything. So I just discounted this room completely. If I wanted to do like a studios type of shot, I would have pulled the bed out, got rid of those, and we have beautiful like lighting for that wall, but that's not what this shot was about. We were trying to get the feel of this house into the photos. So this is a beautiful little bathroom, which is not really beautiful. I'll put up a shot right now and you'll see the toilet paper sitting in the shot here. The light, I think because it's a frosted window, the light never seemed to work here. It seemed to be too flat. It didn't give me the look I was trying to get. And I think the background's a little bit horrible too. Even though I don't care about bad backgrounds, it just didn't vibe. So in here we have great light, and the kitchen's a bit cleaner than it was when we were shooting, but from here the light was really good, and I could just move around and change the light that was hitting Beck. The background's gonna be really interested. We use seats and chairs. I'll put up just put up my favorites from what we were shooting here. I think I shot about 200-300 frames here. It just was the right side of Beck's face. I had plenty of room to duck into this corner and shoot this angle, shoot that angle, and I could even came around with a few shots and just came in here in between these plants and shot the angle. It was also very interesting with so this is the type of view I had, and with the Burberry on the thing in the background, that just happened to be there. We didn't even move it to that position. It was just nice. There was just a feel. We did have a lot more rubbish on here, which we didn't set up. It was just what was sitting on the bench. We did play around a little bit with some of these little lights coming in and around here, but they were all right, but they weren't enough for me to be really happy with. If I had another day shooting in here, I'd most likely do a shoot with Beck down here on the floor. I'd mostly just open this door up and get the two lights coming in here just a tiny bit. And I reckon I could do something really nice on the floor, get rid of that thing, just something very simple. But I do love sort of timber floor, just doors and walls in the look. But what we're going to do now is we've set up this shoot. I've opened the curtains as far as I can to get as much light coming through there as possible. And the whole idea of this shoot is using some of the light that's coming out of the living room, but then using some of this wrap light here. And the shot, it's like very tight in here. So I'll be shooting shots from there to here, and that's what we're going to do now. Okay, I've got Beck in the doorway there. I'm on my Leica SL2-S. My settings are 3200 ISO, 160th of a second, and I am fully wide open, but that's not because I'm trying to get the bokeh. Because there's no bokeh going to happen. I just want that very shallow on Beck's face. So I'm not worrying about the background, I'm more worrying about the face, and I'm just on a little 50mm here. I haven't taken a frame yet. I'm just about to take my first frame. Cool, that's really pretty. And I just want to see it come up on the computer just to make sure that I'm happy with my blacks, and that's looking fine. So on my computer, I'm just running a clean black and white LUT. It doesn't change any luminosities, it's just a very clean LUT. Cool, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. Cool. And for the first few frames, I'm always a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm always looking at, I want to see the computer, just make sure that I'm happy that I'm seeing what I'm seeing in the viewfinder here. Because the viewfinder always seems a bit brighter. I might just come down a fraction with shutter speed because I've already walked through this place for a day and found different lights. And I actually had a shoot earlier today and I shot a little bit at this doorway as well. So I know this doorway works. Can you go down and open up the bathroom door? It's already open now. Can you turn on the light in there? I just want a little bit more in the background. I don't want it on the back wall. I want it about halfway down. Just a little bit more structure. Cool, that's really pretty, that's really pretty. You'll just see, if you look at the picture before and the picture after, you'll see how that floor has lit up and a little bit on the wall. It's just added a little bit more interest into the background. That's the only reason I did that. So I'm really happy with everything. I'm just going to now just shoot and cool, that's really pretty. That's cool. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I've got my focus peaking, and when I'm shooting, I have my focus peaking set to white because all I want to see is a twinkle in Beck's eye, and that says that the catch light in her eye is razor sharp, and white just shows it up straight away for me. Yes, you can see. Oh yeah, that's the best you can give me. Oh yeah, but do you like? Yeah. So I'll put my camera on to Beck. Yeah, yeah. If you turn like that, it's even better. Cool. I'm going to push a little bit of shadow fill into the picture so it won't be quite as contrasty. Cool, cool. That's really pretty. I like that a lot. Cool, cool. So we've only just started shooting. Beck's really good. She can pretty much start straight away, but she's always going to be better after a little bit of time because she'll get into a mood, she'll get into a feel. Yeah, even though we were reshooting before a couple of hours ago, it takes us a little bit of time for a model to get back into the swing of it. Cool, that's really pretty. I like that a lot. Cool, nice, nice. Stunning.
Like a bodybuilder again.
She's talking about a bodybuilder's shot. I'll show you her bodybuilder shot. Thanks. So I have this thing, when I'm shooting, I have this thing. First thing that comes to my mind, I say. So quite often if a model puts their hand on their jaw, I go toothache, stomachache, headache. And so, but it's so much easier. If I just say to a model, you look like a bodybuilder, they don't want to look like a bodybuilder and they stop doing it straight away. You've got to be careful. Some models don't like to be told the truth. So you have to find a nicer way, whereas I'm very crass. I just say exactly what I think. So if I think it looks like crap, I'll just say that looks shit. That's really cool. That actually looks really nice. Cool. You don't try and do chin-ups, are you? It's all right. No, it looks cool. Stirring. It was only when you went to do that. No, the two hands looked really cool. I'm happy with that. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. Cool. But on the shoot, I also like to always have banter, stir, because it keeps the model fresh. They have fun. They don't get so stressed. They don't get as uptight about the shoot. Cool. I like that. I really like that. That's really pretty. So I'm just coming closer to make it more about Beck's eyes. Stunning. Nice, I really like. Cool, cool. That's really pretty. Stunning. Cool. And as I'm going for more beauty shots, you'll see that I start to stop talking. Cool, I love that. That's really gorgeous, gorgeous. I'll just do a couple more. So what I'm doing now is Beck's got into the flow now. She's at the flow I like. See, I'm not shooting anywhere near as many shots. I'm waiting for that shot and just grabbing it. If you shoot too quick, once the model really gets up onto speed, you'll miss those shots because you're too busy clicking and not looking for that exact moment that's going to happen. Cool, I like that, I like that. Cool, beautiful. I don't need to sort of take that second shot after just in case it's a bit better. Nice. Beautiful, that, love. Love. She felt something then, she put her head against the wall, thought about Jared. Ah, that worked. We've been away from home for about 5 weeks now, so cool, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. Cool, I'm just gonna crop it a bit tighter. Cool, that's really pretty. Stunning, stunning. Beautiful, there, nice. I just want to quickly show you one quick thing. So this door has, we could shoot both sides. Have a look how different this is if I just shoot the other way. So Beck's still going to come up to the same part of the door and use the same amount of light. So keep coming a bit further. Right, cool. And yes, I'm going to have a laptop in a different background, but have a look how different this light is. Still a nice picture, but look at the difference. So this is where it's good to try all the different ways around the light.
So sorry we weren't able to film the first part of the shoot. As you saw, it's just really small and pretty much impossible to film in this place, but we hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, we travel a lot and we do heaps of these kinds of tutorials, filming in random Airbnbs over on Inspire. There will be a link in the description below if you want to go check that out. And other than that, I'll put some other videos up on the screen now.